back to the Positive Gains podcast. My special guest today is Eryk Anders, who currently competes in the middleweight division in the UFC, who has a fight this Saturday, the UFC Fight Night, Holm versus Vieira, which is Park Jun-Yong, if I got that name right. Eryk, how are you?
Good, yourself?
Doing good, man. Appreciate you being on.
Absolutely, my pleasure, brother.
So I was reading, man, that you was born on a military base in the Philippines, and then you transitioned into in San Antonio, and it kind of led you to football, I'm guessing. So what was early life like for you? Was football always in the equation for you?
Yeah, pretty much. I started playing football when I was like 7. I always found we moved around about every 3 years, so I always found that sports was like a common ground that a lot of the kids they put you in age groups and whatnot. So kids, it's like a good way to meet and hang out with new people. Have a common interest, and I guess with sports, it really doesn't matter where you come from, what you look like, or any of that. It's like you're all on a team and you're trying to win. So it's just like an easy way to meet new kids and whenever we move somewhere.
Did you like moving every 3 years, or was it just like whatever for you?
It's just you really don't think about it. It's just kind of it's just your life. So it it was cool. It was a cool experience. We lived different countries and moved around, so you got to experience different cultures, different ways of life, and I think it gives you a different perspective. Growing up like that on life. So I thought it was great that we got to do that.
And then you were fortunate enough to get a scholarship playing for the University of Alabama. You had a great career there. I'm always a little salty when I bring up Bama, only because I'm a Longhorn fan, man. And that killed me, that national championship game. But props to you guys. You guys got it done, and so you had a good career there. So tell me about Alabama, man. What was that entire experience like for you?
Man, it's pretty surreal. Especially we didn't win very much at first, and Saban came, and then about my senior year, we won a national championship. So for me, you couldn't have scripted or written it any better, because the last game of my college career was the national championship. So I think all athletes always want to go out on top. So that's it's cool to have that experience.
And then so brief stints in with the Browns and CFL, the AFL. Then you kind of transition out of football. So how did MMA work its way in there?
I just wasn't ready to, I just pretty competitive person. So, I got done playing football. It's like I had nothing to compete in, and, doing the 9-to-5 thing just wasn't cutting it. So I walked into a gym to blow off some steam, started training, and fell in love with it right there and then.
Okay. And so now you've kind of made your rounds, man. You've done Bellator, LFA, UFC, and then not only that, but you've fought in other divisions. With the 205, and you're back down. What do you see so far in? I don't want to say the difference of companies, but that you're with the brand of the UFC compared to the other ones. How do you feel so far in your journey being with the UFC?
It's good. I've been able to, just fight. I don't have to work anything else or do any other jobs or anything like that. So, it's been good to me. It's been profitable for me. I have no complaints. A lot of fighters complain about fighter pay and all that, but at the end of the day, you gotta go out there and win. So just like anything else, any other job, if you don't go out there and produce, like, you're gonna get fired. You're gonna lose your job. You're not gonna get paid very much. So,
Right.
I think it's the entertainment business. So you gotta go out there and entertain.
Let's talk about preparation for the fight. Like I said, we're just a few days away from your fight, and you're basically towards the end of your training camp and things like that. And I believe you're at Fight Ready, right? Training out there.
Yep.
So could you just kind of tell the viewers exactly separating yourself from your family? You're away, the mindset, the mental makeup, what all that entails.
It definitely requires sacrifice on, everybody's part, but at the same time, for me, it's like difficult to get ready for a fight, cut weight, and be around them,
Right.
As weird as that sounds, I get like moody and, it gets like, it's even worse when I have to, like, instead of like sleeping or resting, I'm helping the kids with homework or driving them to practice or whatever. So, my wife is a trooper. She puts a lot of weight on her shoulders when I'm gone and handles it like a G. So, because of her, I'm able to come out here and kind of get in the zone and, just be all in on fighting. And it's hard to be like when I'm out here, I can be 100% in on fighting. When I'm home, I can be 100% home.
Right.
It's hard to be like 75 here or 25 there or break it up anyway other than 100. So, this is just kind of the way it has to be for right now.
Right. And so with your fight, do you prefer, to knock people out because you got heavy hands at any point? People can get dropped. Obviously, you want to get the win, but does it matter to you how it happens? You want to excite the crowd, or as long as you get your hand raised?
Yeah, at the end of the day, the win is the most important part. But if you go out there and do it in fashion, maybe the UFC drop you a little, performance bonus or whatnot.
Nice little check.
So, you're trying to cash out.
Okay. And last but not least, man, I mean, you really made your rounds. Like you said, you've been in different countries. You've moved a lot. You've had to, deal with different things. You're a national champion. I mean, you've accomplished so much right now that most people won't get the opportunity to. But what advice would you give somebody that, maybe they're in college right now playing football, and maybe they want to be in the UFC, or maybe they just want to be a college athlete? What advice would you give them that, to make it, try to make it?
Man, just keep it moving. I know for me, a lot of people told me that I wouldn't play college football. And then when I did play college football, when I made that transition to fighting, they were like, oh, you shouldn't do that. You're going to ruin your face, get your teeth knocked out, this, that, and the third. But, you just kind of have to, like, put them in the background, and, you know what you want to do. You know what your goal is. Figure it out. Do what you got to do to be successful. And even if you aren't, like I always wanted to be a football player. Football thing didn't work out, but the same competitive drive and want to is what led me to start fighting. So just because your first plan doesn't work out doesn't mean the second and third one won't.
Great advice. And the last thing, I'm sorry, that I wanted to ask you was, I'd read that you obviously have a lot of admiration and respect for Coach Nick Saban. And I think at times we watch these interviews and things like that, and people get a different view of him. They don't really know him. So I know you spoke real highly of him. Just exactly what does Coach Saban mean to you?
He's, definitely the captain of the ship, and not just me, like, there's a lot of guys who, I was fortunate enough to have my father in my life, but some of these guys don't. So, he kind of became that father figure, he kind of made everybody expect more out of themselves than what they did, originally, So he made sure everybody maximized their potential and, just became a better person. So I think when you have people like that, it's like, oh, shit, I can do this, I can do that. It just kind of makes you a better person,
Okay.
And you'll inspire somebody else.
And I figured, obviously, don't judge a book by its cover. Obviously, that hard exterior, you see at times that obviously he's not, Mr. Angry all the time and things like that. So I'm glad you shared that.
Yeah. He wears many hats, has many faces, So I just don't think he likes the media, so that's why he portrays himself. And it's kind of funny and it's a joke now. So, yeah. But that's not who he is, like behind closed doors.
Okay. Well, Eryk, I won't hold you any longer, man. We'll be watching here your fight. I hope you get your hand raised. I appreciate you again for taking time out of your busy day, especially in preparation for fight week. Thank you and God bless you, man.
I appreciate it, brother.